So just graduating Firehose, how do you know what job listings to apply for? I've looked at a ton that seem really intimidating. How do you read the listings? So many ask for so many years of experience or skills I might not quite have. So basically, how do you sort of navigate that?
I applied to, I think, every job that seemed like it could be even a remotely okay fit, just trying to get interviews for any job that had 3 or less years of experience as a requirement. HR kind of screws that up and they just say 3 years should be a good fit when it really could be a very well entry-level job. So I think 3 years or less is an okay job to apply to if everything else on there seems like a fit. If they're asking for stuff that you don't even know what it is, then I would not recommend applying to it. Throwing your name in the ring if you are comfortable with everything on the job description, even if it's 3 years, I don't think that's out of the question. I think my job is technically 3 years and the title is software developer 2. And I certainly wouldn't say I'm a software developer 2, but that was it. And it worked out great. And I wouldn't have applied to it if I just saw software developer 2 and there wasn't a years next to the Ruby. So you should be confident in applying for, things that look okay. The worst thing that's going to happen is you don't hear back from them and you're exactly where you are right now. What worked for me was applying to every job that I thought I could be even a remotely good fit for and just following through with the ones that I thought was a good fit after that. You're probably going to get more responses than you think you will if you put in time during the boot camp.
On my end, my experience wasn't as good as applying that, but that's more of a personal thing in the sense that I really dreaded the blind resume submitting. So I didn't do as much of it as others did. Not that it's not effective, it's just my personality. It wasn't really something that I really enjoyed, so I didn't do as much of it. I think I submitted maybe in total about 20 different resumes blindly. Before I started doing something else. The ones that I was submitting, it was just whatever I could find that didn't explicitly say senior. I didn't care too much about the senior. I was looking at the job description details and making sure that there was nothing in their stack that they were using that was really out of my comfort level. So if their stack was just like Ruby, Rails, JavaScript, something like that, then I would apply anyways.
I might do what it sounds like Ben did sort of up front, which it sounds like you met a couple of people who worked in like more junior, maybe not senior, maybe not the hiring manager at the company, but like you basically knew somebody in the door. I think that's kind of an interesting strategy to do too.
Yeah, there were a few where I met just like friends on Twitter, like just chit-chatting about nonsense on Twitter. Like I met Mike Kudermarch, he's one of the mentors here now, talking about hockey on Twitter. And then we met up and he said, hey, I have an opportunity at my job. Would you like to try to interview there? And just meeting people like that. I met somebody else on Twitter who's a developer in Boston who's looking for a job now. And I'm trying to help him get a job at my company because he tried to help me get a job at his company or his friend's company. There's all sorts of opportunities like that. And just networking is great. And networking doesn't necessarily come naturally to me, but you can do it in all sorts of mediums. Like Twitter is super easy to just send someone a message and be buddies with them, hopefully. But you don't have to necessarily go to meetups to do that if that's not your personality type.